This is how to develop a better mindset in order to achieve your goals in fitness. So, the main, okay, so you know how in the gym, the main rule that you go by is progressive overload, right? So that's basically you get a little bit stronger over time. Over time, you add a little bit more weight, you do a little bit more reps every time, and you get stronger. The main rule for your fitness mindset is you are gonna have heard of this before. You probably will have delayed gratification. My handwriting has fallen off a bit since graduation, but we'll move. So, delayed gratification. This basically means that hard work today, it basically means embrace working hard today, and then you'll reap your rewards later on. Another way you can think of this is you're making your future self, you're making future you happy. And what this basically means is you do actions today that would make your future self proud of the actions that you've taken until now. So let's say you had an exam in theory, right? And then hypothetically you studied for it. Like it's not like we're in fantasy land right now, but hypothetically you studied for your exam and you did well. That would be a form of delayed gratification because you had the choice to just play games that day. You had the choice to not study and just watch reels or whatever. But you undertook a delayed gratification and you had a point or you had a feat that would have not been possible without the delayed gratification. So you got gratified, you got happiness later on. That's the main rule of this whole mindset thing. Delayed gratification, delay gratifying yourself, delay feeling that sense of happiness and joy or whatever. Delay feeling that sense of relief or whatever you want to call it, for the future self is basically what it means. So you could have the cake now, or you could have. There was a study where like they gave these kids a biscuit. They gave these kids a biscuit, right? And then they told them if you wait 5 minutes, then I'm gonna come back with another biscuit. You can have two biscuits. But then these kids, like pretty much all of them, none of them waited for the second biscuit. They all just had the first biscuit, and then they lost out on the potential future reward of having another biscuit. So basically, what that means is most people aren't gonna practice this. Most people aren't doing delayed gratification. If you do, you'll stand out. You make progress faster than everyone else, and you reach your goals faster since the average person is not doing this. Second one is raise your baseline. Pretty sure I talked about this before, but we'll go through it. Higher baseline. If you want to talk about this in the lens of fitness, I'll give you an analogy in school, right? So in school, you always had those smart kids, right? You always had the kids that no matter what, they wouldn't fail a test. Like you probably get excited when like they would get close to you. Like on their bad days, you get excited because you popped off for a test and then they flopped that test, and you get excited because like, oh, I'm doing almost as good as this guy. Like that's basically their baseline was they had a high baseline. For fitness, a good example of your baseline probably is you wouldn't be that mad if you didn't go to the gym today. Like, let's be honest. If you didn't work out, if you didn't do your bodyweight workout, whatever, you wouldn't be that mad at yourself. But there's people out there that, like, you probably heard of David Goggins. If David, it's like an extreme example, but if David Goggins didn't run 5 miles today or like 10 kilometers today, he would get mad at himself. So there's people with crazy high baselines that would force themselves, like their sense of self would not allow them to go below a certain point of like daily exercise. So this is probably like the easiest way to guarantee yourself to be fitter, but it's like pretty hard to do because you have to change like your whole perception of yourself, and like that's another topic. But if you force yourself to believe that you're an athlete who works out every day, you're an athlete who lives a healthy lifestyle, you're an athlete who doesn't eat the cookies, you're an athlete who doesn't skip your workouts, you're an athlete who does your I don't know, like stretching or whatever. You're an athlete. If you force yourself to believe you're an athlete, eventually you'll think you're an athlete, and you'll develop a higher baseline. So the reason why this works is there's a lot of diminishing returns in the gym, right? That means if you worked out half as much, you wouldn't make half the muscle. You'd make like 3/4 of the muscle, or maybe even 80% of the muscle. So there's diminishing returns. A tiny bit of effort goes a long way, but a lot of effort doesn't go as far as you'd think it goes. So a tiny bit of effort goes a long way. If you put in a tiny bit of effort every day, if you went from doing nothing every day, if you went from doing nothing every day to now having a baseline where you lift up at this point and your new baseline is doing 10 push-ups every day, the 10 push-ups wouldn't make that much more muscle, but it would at the minimum prevent like your muscles catalyzing. I think that's the word. Or catabolizing. I forgot the word, but it's like your muscles wouldn't eat themselves basically. If you have that higher baseline, you would prevent, like, your gym progress probably looks like this right now. Like, it goes up and then down and then up and then down. It's like stocks. Like, it just goes up and down. If your baseline was at the minimum here, or like if that was your baseline, you wouldn't have these troughs here. You wouldn't have all these big dips, and your progress would probably look more like that. Like, it'd just be more linear if you had a high baseline. So force yourself to do. The way I implement this is I have like a routine that I follow, but my bare minimum to like not be angry at myself is just do 50 push-ups, or if you want, just do 30 pull-ups. It's very like low effort compared to what my actual routine is. For you, it might be like, I want to do at least 10 push-ups and 5 pull-ups today, or I want to walk at least like, if I want to do a 5-minute walk today. It literally does not matter as long as it's higher than doing nothing, which your baseline probably is. So yeah, number 2 is have a higher baseline, because you don't feel like going to the gym sometimes, but sometimes all you can do is go for a walk, so go for that walk. So yeah, that's the higher baseline. Number 3 is systemize and habitize, if that's a system, if that's a word. So what this basically means is the main concept we're going to use for this is habit stacking. Habit stacking basically means that you have habits that you do no matter what. So it could be you wake up at a certain time. It could be that you have dinner at the same time. It could be that you take a dump at a certain time. It could be that you go to school. You go to school, come time at a certain time, come back at a certain time. You go to work at a certain time, come back at a certain time. There's gonna be things in your life that no matter how bad you think your routine is, that you do at the same time every day, or like at least on weekdays, right? The easiest way to add in new habits to your life is, because there's a lot of resistance that you have to going to the gym. Like, it's a weird thing to add to your routine. Like, you're voluntarily putting yourself in pain and practicing delayed gratification all at the same time to get a physique that you're not going to see for like 6 months or at least 3 months. So the easiest way to get around this is habit stacking. This basically means that you add habits onto existing habits. So let's say this is your timetable. That's 9 a.m. That's 9 p.m. You're at school or work until 4 p.m. let's say, or 5. So you work at 9 to 5. It's 5 p.m. If you're at school, it's going to be 3 p.m. So yeah, that's all busy. You can get around this by adding gym straight after. Like, pack your workout clothes in your bag or whatever. Just go to the gym straight after in this gym block. Or if the gym's busy, you could have a habit block here. And that just means that you wake up. So you could wake up at 7. This is a bit messy, but it's fine. You wake up at 7 and you have breakfast, and then you walk or you drive to the gym. That literally could be your habit stack. It's just a system of habits that you repeat after the one before it, which causes you to add in new habits pretty easily to your life. So let's say that you want to have a protein shake before after waking up. You would have your normal breakfast, and straight after, without thinking, you just have a protein shake. That's literally how habit stacking works. Because if you just tell yourself, I'm going to go to the gym, it's more than likely it's not going to work out. You have to add it onto an existing habit. So it's going to be work plus gym, or it's going to be wake up, breakfast plus gym, or it's going to be if you want to work out late, it's going to be like gym, sleep. Like, it's going to be gym before a habit or after a habit. It's not going to be just gym by itself. It's going to be gym before or after something. So you get rid of all the little pockets of time in your day where you do nothing, where you have thoughts saying that, or maybe I can skip this workout. Another thing is you might feel a bit of